Hello everyone and welcome to Facebook Live. I hope you've all had a really wonderful day today. I'm going to be sharing some products out of the annual catalogue, and check this out. I have actually got the new mini catalogue in my hot little hands. I have ordered some catalogues, so as soon as I get those I will let everyone know. So if you coming to classes, you'll be able to collect your new catalogue when you come. I expect that my catalogues will probably be here at the end of this week, very early next week, so they're not far away. Okay, so let's get started with tonight's Facebook Live. I am using, again, and I have shown you quite a few of these sketches that we have here on page 22. So just down the bottom here, I've used or shown you a few recently during Facebook Lives. So let me show them up a little bit closer. So page 22 of the annual catalogue. And I am excited to let you know that in the new mini catalogue, there's also a page that has some extra sketches that you can use as well, because they are a really great starting point when you're not sure what you want to make. So the card that I am making tonight is, which one? It's one of these ones. This one just here is the sketch that I've used for tonight's Facebook Live. The other thing I'm using in this is some Designer Series paper, which is on page 51, which there is a whole suite here. So it's called Country Wood Suite. So it does have two bundles in it. It has two different Designer Series paper, ribbon, embossing folder, and also some basic grey and smoky slate pearls as well. But I'm going to be using this bottom Designer Series paper, which is called Country Lace. One of the other reasons I want to share with you the Designer Series paper is at the moment we of course do have the sale on Designer Series paper. So you can save 15% off. And this paper I'm using tonight is included. So normally the Designer Series paper costs $21.75. So at the moment, with the 15% off, it comes down to $18.48. So it's a nice little saving there on your Designer Series paper. So let me just pop my catalogue aside just for the moment and show you these pretty papers. So they do have a really nice variety of colours. So there is basic grey and smoky slate. There is Misty Moonlight. So there's a couple there with the Misty Moonlight. There is basic beige, which is that new colour that we got in the new annual catalogue. There's also petal pink. And we've got here a little bit more of basic beige. This sheet of paper I've obviously used a lot of because that's pretty much all I had left. Let me show you the reverse side. And the reverse side again is using the same colour scheme, just slightly different patterns. Some of them just have a really nice sort of very simple pattern, I guess, not too busy. Just adds a little bit of texture to your backgrounds. There's some stripes. There's almost one that looks like jeans fabric, and that's the smaller piece as well. So this is, again, this Designer Series paper is called Country Lace. So let me just pop these aside. And the Country Lace, as I mentioned, is on page 51. Okay, so here is tonight's card. So I am using two different Designer Series paper. I'm using the dies, which are the Stylish Shapes dies. Let me show you those. So those are these ones here. You have the squares, circles, and also your banners. And I am using one of the bigger banners on this one. Let me pop that aside. And the stamps that I'm using, which is one I've used a lot lately as well, which is called Simply Said, which is on... Let me just quickly find this stamp set for you. On page 19 of the annual catalogue. And I have shown this one a few times and used it quite a few times simply because it covers pretty much everything that you need in one stamp set. Hi Pam, thank you for watching. Okay, so let's get started with this one. And I have finished off the inside just with a piece of white. Okay. And also I've got some basic rhinestones, and of course they have such beautiful shimmer and shine to them. I'll pop those there and hopefully I won't lose them. I do have some white baker's twine, and I actually have two pieces, a short and a long. The longer one is to tie the bow, the shorter one is just to wrap around the banner. So I do have my die cut banner. I have my two pieces of the Designer Series paper. So the first one measures 9.5 by 9 centimeters, and the second one is 8.5 by 10.5. But you can adjust these sizings to anything that you would like. I think that piece is going to go that way. I think it is. Okay, I have two pieces of white. One for the inside, which measures 10 centimeters by 14.4, and the one for the outside. As you can see, I have made this one with a little bit bigger mat on it. So this one is 9.5 by 13.9. And I do have my card base. This one just happens to be opening the other way, but this is the way that I normally do my cards. And again, it's just half a sheet of A4. Okay, so starting off folding that one in half. And I am going to straight away put my piece of white onto the card front. And I am going to use some Stampin' Seal, but I just need to quickly change out. You're always going to know when these are empty because you get this little red strip here. So I'll put in a refill. Which these are super easy to change out. Take out the old refill. There's a couple of little holes here that line up inside the little holder or the case, and just snap it back together. And just need that to start. There we go. And remembering with your Stampin' Seal, you don't need to use too much pressure, and remember that little tick at the end just to break the stream of adhesive. Hi Leslie, hi Rachel. This blue, Rachel, is a really lovely one. It's almost the blue of denim. Okay, so that's going on the front just with Stampin' Seal. Okay, now I do have here, just going to make sure I'm going to stick this one on the right way. I am going to be putting my two, one on top of the other. So it's going to look something kind of sort of like that. Might put that up just a little bit higher. So with these ones, normally I would stick everything onto that piece of white and then onto the card front. But with this one, I need to know where those pieces of Designer Series paper are going to sit without them overhanging the edge of the card. Okay, so again, some Stampin' Seal. And just remember that little tick and not too much pressure. Okay, so that is going to go around about there. Now this card is only going to take a couple of minutes because it is just a really nice quick one to do. My next layer with the blue piece of Designer Series paper is going to go on with dimensionals. And I do have, this is a sheet or leftover part of a packet of the mini dimensionals. And so I am just going to cut these bits up. And I hope you do cut these or save them if you're doing shaker cards, because it's a shame to waste this product that all goes around the edges of the sheets of dimensionals. Okay, so get those on. Just need a couple more. Maybe one more. Okay, and then of course flicking those backs up to stick this onto the card front. So yesterday and today was a beautiful day. It was actually really nice yesterday. I opened my house up and I actually had washing out in the line. Actually, I think the past couple of days have been really nice. I hope everyone has had a chance to get out and about, because it's just too nice the weather to be inside. Okay, so that one is going to stick on around about there. Now, if you don't really like the idea of them being off center, you can certainly just change this design up slightly and line everything up nice and straight. Okay. Next bit is a little bit of stamping, and I am using this as a thinking of you. I think this sentiment is a really good one. It's nice and versatile because you can add a happy birthday or anything you like on the inside. And I think this card you could also use as a sympathy card as well. Okay, so I've got my thinking of you, my Misty Moonlight ink, and I am going to be stamping the sentiment off to the right hand side, just to allow that little bit of room to put the baker's twine. And of course, being the photopolymer, you can pretty much line it up perfectly each time. You've got to love that about that type of stamp. And as you can see, I've actually got some drips of ink there. I did refill this ink pad a little while ago, and I think I made just a touch of a mess with it. That's okay though, and I actually managed to get that close without any extra ink on me. Okay, so my baker's twine, I do need the short piece first. And this short piece measures about 10 centimeters. I am folding this one in half just to give it on the banner just that double thickness. And of course, when they're a little smaller, they are also a little bit more fiddly as well. I'm just going to tuck that behind and a little bit of sticky tape to hold that in place. And then I'm going to do the exact same with the bottom. Now, alternatively, you can wrap the ribbon around a couple of times, but I've just found that doing it this way, you don't use quite as much product. And I think out of all of the baker's twine, the white is the one that I use the most. So I'm forever buying the packets of baker's twine more so for the white. Okay, with my longer piece, and this one measures probably around the 40 centimeter mark, I'm going to again fold that in half. And I'm going to tie my bow. Might have to have a couple of goes at this tonight. I'll see how I go, because you never know how it's going to turn out. Try again. Okay, I think that is a bit better. And of course, anyone who does paper craft, you do know that you just need to work your bow just until you're happy with it. And then I'm going to be snipping the loop there to open up, and I'm going to trim off just a small amount. And there you have your cute little bow. Yeah, I agree, Leslie. We do need to have the white baker's twine in a large roll just on its own. I tend to use the vanilla quite a bit as well. When I'm colouring the Baker's Twine using the alcohol markers, I tend to use the vanilla. I've actually, when I've been doing a darker blue to colour it, I've also used the grey granite. Anything darker than grey granite, it actually covers really nicely. Okay, so next thing I'm doing, I'm going to be popping some dimensionals behind my banner. But yes, I would love to have a large roll of white Baker's Twine available in the catalogue because it's just such a versatile thread to use. Okay, just need a couple more pieces. I also have just a couple of reminders for tonight as well. So yeah, we won't be too long at all. We'll probably be all done and dusted within probably 15 to 20 minutes, which is nice to do, nice quick cards. Now, of course, if you're making something like this at home, it is going to take just a little bit longer for you to do it because you'll be cutting your pieces of cardstock. I will do a shareable for this card and I'll share this with you in the next day or so, which will have all the measurements as well. Okay, so that is going to be stuck onto, oh, it's not too bad, I even stuck it on straight. So I've got my banner on with dimensionals and I'm going to be using a mini glue dot to stick my bow on. Just switch out the ends to the piercing tool. And this is going to go over the top of that bit of Baker's Twine. And then the bow will go over on top of that. So it's really quite a sweet card. And I think this, it's going to work with any of your designer series paper. Just change up perhaps the style of the banner and change up the sentiment and it's going to look like a different card. I need to start doing that to share with you how these cards look using different designer series paper. Yeah, shareables are fabulous. I just love them. Okay, so I've got the putty end of the Take Your Pick tool and I'm going to pop 3 of these little rhinestones on. Let's just add a little bit of bling onto the card front. So there you have that nice little bit of bling. I'm not sure how well that's going to show up, but it does look nice and sparkly from my end. And finally, I've got my piece of cardstock which measures 10 centimeters by 14.4, and this is going to be going into the middle. And this just allows, of course, for a lot easier writing, particularly when you're using darker colours. Having your white mat on the inside makes quite a difference. Okay, so the sentiment has come from Simply Said stamp set. This one is on page 19 of the annual catalogue and you're looking at $30, but it does have all the basics in it. So it's a really, really cute little stamp set to have. Very, very versatile. So I do recommend for anybody who's looking at purchasing a sentiment stamp set this year, this would be the one that I would get. It just covers pretty much everything. Okay, so that is the stamp set. So, and there is the finished card. As I mentioned, this one is a nice quick one to do, and I think that's the bonus about using the sketches in the catalogue. It does make for really nice quick cards. So there they are again on page 22. Okay, so a couple of reminders for you. Of course, we have got, let me just move the card out the way. We have got the mini catalogue, which will be launching in September. So I will have these catalogues to give out probably as of very early next week. We also have, of course, the designer series paper sale where you can save 15% off some of the designer series paper, or most of the designer series paper in the annual catalogue. I will try and share this on my Facebook page just so you can take a look. So normal price for these standard designer series papers is $21.75, and at the moment you can get them for $18.45. So nice little saving there. So there's quite a few different ones in there, including some of the 6x6 papers as well. So now is the time, if you really love your designer series paper, to stock up on these at the moment. Designer series paper sale is on. For those who purchased last month and earned bonus days coupon, so that was when you got a $9 coupon with a $90 spend, you have until the end of August, so the 31st of August, to redeem your coupons. So don't miss out on losing those by not placing your order this month. Your coupon codes will be in your email. Okay, so and there is only the minimum spend of $9, which is the value of the voucher or the coupon. And finally, a couple of classes for the next couple of weeks. So this Thursday, so just a couple of days, I have got the 2-card free class. Those have all been sent out, and they were sent out last week. If you haven't received those and you think you should have, please let me know so that I can get those into the mail. Hopefully you'll have them for Thursday. Next Tuesday, I've got Facebook Live. Next Wednesday is a scrapbook class. And then I've got retreat the following Saturday and Sunday. And then the following week, I do have Facebook Live again. So the usual Tuesdays, plus just the extra free class. And that is the free class with purchase. So if you purchased during July $50 or more from me, you will have received those kits. Okay, so that's what I've got. I've got some classes, redeeming your bonus day coupons, and of course the designer series paper sale. And finally, one last time, there is the card that I've shared with you tonight. Yeah, Trisha, this blue is beautiful. It's called Misty Moonlight. It wasn't in colour a while ago and it came back. So that's always kind of exciting when we get those colours back. Thank you, Pam. Thank you so much, Gay, for watching. Yeah, the designs are really simple, and as I mentioned, always use, if you're stuck, always use those sketches in the catalogue. And as I mentioned earlier, just in case you did miss it, there are more sketches, card sketches and tag sketches in the new mini catalogue. So everyone will be, I hope, will be looking forward to seeing those. So thank you so much for watching tonight, everybody. I will be back on Thursday with the 2-card free class. So that was the normal time of 8 o'clock. So I'm looking forward to seeing you then. In the meantime, have a great rest of the evening and have an awesome Wednesday and Thursday. And I'll see you Thursday night. Thanks so much, everyone. Bye-bye.